Even if Formula One's 2023 season is still in progress, attention is already shifting to 2024, both on their drivers and their vehicles. A few drivers still haven't decided on their plans for 2024. Some of the greatest names in the sport might potentially switch clubs, according to multiple sources close to the paddock. Although everything is still a secret, excitement is undoubtedly growing. Since Nick de Vries departed AlphaTauri, there has been even more discussion regarding other drivers' moves on the grid. According to Ricciardo, he made the decision to drive for AlphaTauri in Formula One with the long-term goal of driving for Red Bull once again. Considering that Sergio Perez has a contract for the following year and is currently fulfilling Red Bull's requirements, that won't happen until at least 2025. Perez will probably place second in the driver's standings, while the team takes home the Constructors' Championship. Perez's objective for the second half of the year is maximizing his own performance, not losing out to any of the drivers behind, and attempting to pick up a few wins, according to Christian Horner after the race in Belgium. For Ricciardo, staying with AlphaTauri is the most sensible course of action. Before the team might enhance its performance for next year, the second half of this season will provide him the chance to fully integrate with the squad and understand its current situation, allowing him the chance to properly stake a claim for a 2025 Red Bull seat. Ricciardo's AlphaTauri colleague Yuki Tsunoda is also a free agent for the upcoming campaign. However, continuity in the driver lineup would be sage for a squad going through serious turmoil. Despite the fact that Tsunoda only scored 3 points, this has been by far his strongest F1 season. He is the slowest driver on the grid due to the limitations of the car, yet he has consistently battled on the periphery of the points. Tsunoda's consistency this season, which was occasionally lacking during his previous 2 seasons, is even more impressive. What's happening at other teams that battles AlphaTauri for the same position? Executives at Haas are being cautious about whether they would offer Kevin Magnussen a contract. Magnussen has been overshadowed by Nico Hülkenberg this season because of the German's return to Formula One. Günther Steiner even mentioned that Magnussen has 5 races left to keep his drive, and that a decision might be made before the summer break at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. However, when questioned about a new deal during the British Grand Prix, Magnussen displayed a calm assurance. "But a new contract must be arranged if I want to compete here the following year. Since it has always been relatively simple in prior years, I'm not too worried," Magnussen told the Mirror in a statement. Despite missing 3 seasons of continuous Formula One racing, Nico Hülkenberg displayed no signs of rust in his first season back with Haas. By earning 9 of the team's 11 points and turning in some spectacular qualifying performances, he has amply supported the team's decision to dismiss Mick Schumacher. Hülkenberg qualified 4th in Austria, earning 3 points despite the Haas car's complete lack of race performance at the moment, and 2nd in Canada, dropping to 5th owing to a penalty. There is no reason to think he won't return the following year. Magnussen hasn't had the same consistency as Hülkenberg this year, with Miami qualifying 4th being his best performance, but he hasn't been far off come Sunday. Magnussen stated in Belgium that he had not yet received news regarding his future, but that eventually will come around to it, and that he thought the club was quite happy with its current lineup. Using those precise words in Canada, team principal Günther Steiner made a suggestion that Hülkenberg and Magnussen will return in 2024. When signing Hülkenberg last year, Haas made it clear that it wanted stability and knowledge to support future development. In its current competitive position, such requirements are still applicable, and Magnussen and Hülkenberg satisfy them. The market is still inactive at the moment. The driver market for the upcoming season appears to be much more stable than it was last year, when just 4 of the 10 teams entered 2023 with the same roster as they did in 2022. The lack of respectable alternatives outside of the current F1 grid is one thing teams with open seats for the following season should bear in mind. This season, nobody is dominating Formula 2 to the point where they would be a desirable replacement for a position in the F1 car. Furthermore, neither Hülkenberg nor Ricciardo are available, thus no seasoned coaches who could aid teams are present. So where are the other gaps in the lineup to be found? Well, those are available from Alfa Romeo. Zhou Guanyu's contract is the only one that has to be finalized because Valtteri Bottas has already committed to Alfa Romeo for next season, when the Sauber-run team is expected to alter its name as it approaches its Audi Works agreement that will begin in 2026. When asked about his plans for the next year, Zhou said at Spa that he had started to chat a little bit with the team and wanted to have a clear picture by the end of the summer break. Since I believe the squad is content with the lineup, I was more concerned at this time last year than I am now, Zhou continued. And he is correct. Alfa Romeo is conscious that its current level of performance does not reflect Bottas's superior early year performance over Zhou, who was still a rookie at the time. Only 1 point separates the two drivers in the championship, and Bottas has a 7-5 advantage in their qualifying head-to-head matchup. Zhou's fifth-place finish in Hungary on Saturday was his best result in Formula One. Zhou acknowledged that he is open to various chances for the following season, but that his goal is to stay where I am and expand on his achievements with the team through 2023. It would be unexpected if the team looked elsewhere, especially given the boost to China's economy Zhou provides. But Sainz will presumably replace him after 2024. The most significant free agent available for 2024 is Lewis Hamilton. However, this term needs to be used with care. Contract extensions have historically been a reasonably quick and easy process because of the nature of the relationship between Hamilton and Mercedes. They once held off on announcing his new contract until the winter, even though the 2021 campaign would start the following month. Although a written agreement has not yet been inked, Hamilton and his Mercedes team have verbally agreed to prolong their Formula One partnership. Although Hamilton has denied rumors linking him to a transfer to Ferrari, there are still some questions because a new Mercedes contract has supposedly been close to being finalized for months. The fact that Lewis Hamilton is still affiliated with Mercedes is really a formality. Mercedes has failed to win another championship, and McLaren has joined them in the battle for the P2 spot among the best of the rest teams, which also includes Aston Martin and Ferrari. In a recent interview, Hamilton discussed his plans for the future of Formula One, admitting that there are some days when he questions if he can keep competing given all of the travel requirements of the current season. But when he gets in the car, even though it may be as bumpy and challenging as the Mercedes W14 at times, that excitement returns to the same level as it did during his rookie season back in 2007, giving Hamilton the impression that he still has another 5 years to give. Honestly, I have moments where I'm like, I don't know if I can keep going, and that's just based on there is a lot of travel, said Hamilton. There's a lot of traveling, there's a lot of time away from all the sacrifices that people make in their careers and striking a balance between social life, family life, and career, being the best you can be, something has to give. And the other two, which are the most important, take a hit. So I think about that often. But then I get into the paddock and I get in the car and I'm like, damn, I love this so much. There you have it. Formula One is a sport that is constantly exciting. Prepare to see another exciting driver switch that will undoubtedly rock the racing world. Which driver and which team would you prefer to see? Post a comment and let us know. By clicking the subscribe button, giving us a thumbs up, and staying tuned for more heart-pounding F1 content, you can ensure that you don't miss any of the action or updates.